Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture Movie Reviews. My guest today is a very funny comedian. If he's in your city, please check him out. Lennon Ratliff.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah. Um, this is our second try, guys. That's why Lennon's
This
laughing. We had
I
somebody
didn't
came
want to
into my
say
yeah, no, I want to
anything.
explain why he's laughing. First time somebody was at the door, I had to uh, go get the door, but that doesn't matter. The movie that we'll be reviewing is The Simpsons. This movie came out in 2007. Before we get into it, this will be a 100% spoiler review. But before we spoil it, uh, Lennon, do you believe they should watch it?
See, the thing about that is, like, if you're a Simpsons fan, 100%. I said it much better in the first go, but like, I would have a hard time recommending this movie to someone who just wasn't a fan of The Simpsons, or who hadn't really watched The Simpsons, because it's The Simpsons movie. It really is just, you know, like, you kind of need to know a bit about The Simpsons before you get into it, really.
I completely agree with him, guys. It's not that you can't watch it, but it is not the same experience if you already have a connection with the characters. There's no
Oh
moment
no, you
here.
can't watch it if you watch it and you haven't, watched The Simpsons. I will come after you.
He has a set of skills. But also, great note, guys. We will talk about that in the review, but everything past this point is 100% spoilers. Um, Great note, man, to put because
Yeah,
in this movie they really do not try to let you learn the characters. Like
yeah, not really.
you have to know who these people are, know their backstory, know why. You have to know
Yeah,
coming in about these
which,
characters.
quite frankly, like, yeah, that's fair, because they've, like, they had been going around at this point. This movie came out in 2007, so 2 decades almost at that point. So yeah, no, it's almost like, yeah, that's fair enough. It's sort of like, like you just knew who the Simpsons were. You just had to.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, back in Greek society, you just knew who Achilles was. You didn't need a whole story about it, about that, for a comparison or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that was something that they wrote on, and I can even imagine being in a meeting room for the movie, being like, "So your mom ain't telling me about you, you don't know about the Simpsons? You've seen
Yeah,
us on everything." So
yeah,
I think that was a good bet at that time, especially because they were still on the up and ups, like they were still, there. Um, the way this movie looked is even today's standards is
oh
just
yeah,
animated perfect. Like
it's
this movie
beautiful.
looks great to see from where they started to where they
It
are now. It's great. Um
it
the
also is probably one of the last, like, 2D feature films. Like, I don't know, but it definitely was like, nobody makes 2D feature films nowadays, and it definitely was starting to, like, by this point, Pixar had made, a bunch of movies. Like, they made The Incredibles at this point, you know, so 3D animation really was, starting to uh, be the norm, and this movie, just no 3D animation, entirely 2D, which was getting becoming rarer and rarer, and is now, not really much of a thing.
Yeah. Um what did you think of the opening scene?
Uh, which opening scene? The Itchy and Scratchy movie, or
Yeah. Yes, the itchy and stretchy.
I loved it, honestly, like, I thought it was so funny, just it it just starts it like, the movie just starts with breaking the fourth wall. I thought that was very funny. It starts with The Simpsons watching a movie. The Simpsons movie starts with The Simpsons watching a movie, and, I thought the Itchy and Scratchy, like, that's something we didn't get into really during the
No.
podcast was Itchy and Scratchy, but I thought that, like, I've always enjoyed the Itchy and Scratchy segments in The Simpsons. They've always been really fun and just super cartoony, and, I liked the montage of, Itchy becomes president, and, then, like, he just hears, "Itchy," from the moon, zooms in on it, and just Scratchy, who's, at this point has his helmet busted open and is just lying half dead on the moon, holds up a sign saying, "I'm telling," and it just becomes this super melodramatic, montage of Itchy just thinking, just watching his kids playing and everything, and he's just like, and then he just launches all the nukes at Scratchy, and they blow up with one last missile coming up and just opening the top out and kicking him.
Yeah.
I thought that was just funny, and Homer just stands up and says, "This is stupid. Everyone here, watching a movie for something that we could watch on TV for free is stupid, especially you." And he just points right at the camera, and then, "Oh, the Simpsons movie on the big screen." Is
And, and that's just
just
brilliant. That's
yeah.
Simpson humor. That is exactly what you know the Simpsons for. It's like that's just a great joke. And like
Mhm.
from them starting from 1989 to finally get a movie in 2007, which I remember, like I said, I was in sophomore in high school when this came out. I just remember a lot of people being like, adults, not really high schoolers like me,
Yeah.
but adults just be like, did they drop a movie already? Like it was a mindset that you thought like maybe I did see a movie, and they had
Yeah.
never dropped a movie. They had
The
so many Treehouse of Horrors. They had the comic book. They had so many different medias out there, but they had never did a movie.
the closest they get to a movie is, Who Shot Mr. Burns? Uh, but, yeah, Who Shot Mr. Burns, though, was like, um, part 1 so, like, part 2 is just the punchline to part 1.
Yeah,
That's just that whole episode, but this, like, there's a solid plot. Um, I really liked seeing The Simpsons, like, following them throughout, this really they're fully out of their elements. Like, I talk about how the biggest thing with The Simpsons is, they have to always stay the same, and this like, Homer's been to space, but this is the most out of his element he's ever been, really.
yes,
Uh, like, everything has gone wrong, he does this thing that just gets literally the entire town to turn against him. He just continues to act selfish, and not even Marge can I actually, when I rewatched the Simpsons movie, and, like, uh, it's Marge, like, recorded the video and it's like, "I'm leaving, I'm taking the kids, we're going to go save Springfield, and, like, this is the end." Like, like she says, "People would always point out your flaws," and I'd say, "Well, sometimes you have to, stand back to really look at a work of art." And, she was like, "I would say these things because, well, that's the thing, I just don't know how to finish that. I cried when there's just so much emotion in that one scene right there that yeah.
Yeah. Um, the soundtrack to this movie, the music plays in the background or whatever. I think they set the tone. I think
Oh yeah.
every choice went with a Simpsons theme.
Hmm.
I just it's as because I'm a Simpson fan, and I think we're gonna get to some of maybe the problems, maybe not the problems of the film. I just want to focus on the good things right now. Um, we talked about the voice actors earlier. The voice actors just nailed it. Like
Oh yeah.
besides the animation, they brought it. Like this, they and it's because some people get to movies and like they maybe overdo their voices or they try
Hmm.
too much. They were just like, this is our opportunity. I don't know how true this is, but I was told that this was their biggest check out of their whole Simpsons career.
Oh yeah.
This was the check that was like,
It had to
yeah,
have been, yeah.
yeah, like it was like, um, um the bad guy in this, of course, what a Homer did.
Russ Carville, yeah.
Yes. Uh, did you like that introduction, or do you wish it had been like somebody from the catalog?
I Yeah, that's definitely a tough one. I honestly, like, growing up watching the movie, I always thought Russ Cargill was like a real person. So I was just like, oh, this is just like some joke that adults, will get because they watch the news or whatever. So it just always went over my head. And then I watched it recently or whatever, and I Googled Cargill. Um, it's one of those. I watched it today and I can't remember. That's definitely a problem. I loved the voice actor. I thought the voice actor was great for that role. I don't know who played him. Gonna Google that. But it's Albert Brooks. See, I have no idea who that is either, but that's fine because he did a great job. Like, there's a lot of seriousness and like a good edgy, uh like crazy edge he has. It's just very, very funny.
Nice.
uh I do kind of wish that was someone from the catalog, uh but also I just wish like they created a new character and like I understood that more because I didn't really like get that this was just, that this was supposed to be a new character. Like I said, I thought that this was supposed to be like just a real guy
Nice. Nice.
because they had um they had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the president, so that sort of set me in that mood of, oh, this is supposed to be a real guy, but obviously it was Rainier Wolfcastle, the Arnold Schwarzenegger that the Simpsons have. But but yeah,
Nice.
it, and also Tom Hanks was in this.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah, they had some stars.
They
Very
did,
much
yeah.
star
They had
power.
Green Day. I mean, we were talking about the music. They had Green Day cover the Simpsons theme song.
Yes,
That was
and
a
for
big
people
Green
that
Day.
are watching and
Yeah.
listening, understand they are popular now. 2007, Green Day
Oh
was
yeah,
hot.
Green
Like
Day.
they
Yeah,
were hot. Like
yeah.
this was a,
That's
but
off the heels of like American Idiot and
yes,
everything. Like they're the biggest that they ever were, like,
yes,
at that
yes.
moment.
Yes, I don't want anybody to get confused and be like, "Why did they choose Green Day?" This was their peak. Like this
Hmm.
was them having Green Day. It even because they died, I believe they didn't die, right? They killed them.
In the movie, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, they're alive in the movie. Yeah, they're still making hits. But yeah, they died in the movie, and you're just like,
Yeah,
that is what
they
the Simpsons would do. They would kill
yeah.
off that band. Like that's
Yeah, and they do it in such a funny way where they're doing a concert on the lake, um like they're on a barge, and they're playing, and they're like, "Hey, we've been playing for, the past 6 hours nonstop, and it's been fun, but we'd like to take a break to talk to you about the environment." And suddenly the entire crowd just starts booing them and throwing stuff at them, and and they're like, "You're being preachy," and Green Day's like, "Well, no, we're not being preachy. It's just the pollution in your lake is dissolving our barge." And eventually, like, the barge starts sinking, so they break out violins like they're on the Titanic. It's just
Something that Family Guy has definitely stolen. Um,
probably.
yeah, I
Uh,
can think of a few episodes where I'm like, yeah, I've seen this. The pacing. I thought this movie had great pacing. I
oh,
thought they
yeah.
didn't. I think they chopped the meat off completely. They could have made
Mhm.
this way longer. I think this is the right
Oh,
runtime.
yeah.
They had the right story beats. Uh, I had no problem. There's nothing in this movie that I was like, why did they put this in?
Mhm. I do actually wish that, like, the runtime was longer.
Oh,
I
okay.
would say that, like, the pacing is fine, but, it could have been a little more dragged out in parts, I think. There's just moments where I'm like, I would have liked to have seen I would have liked to have seen, The Simpsons, on the road more, whereas, like, they sort of just, are, "Hey, we're on the run, and we have nowhere to go," and Homer's like, "Well, we could go to Alaska," um, and then they're like and that's kind of it, like, they have, like, one quick run-in, but I would have liked to have seen like, there could have been more conflict in getting to Alaska, either external or internal, because, that's the thing too, like, the family still hasn't forgiven Homer at that point, and I would have liked to see more of that, more of the family sort of, being angry towards Homer, or, something like that.
Okay. And now we get to something that I definitely want your opinion on, Lennon. I did not see it myself. Um, a lot of people are having issues, especially on Reddit. Do you really feel like this is just like another episode of The Simpsons where Homer does something stupid, Marge breaks up with him, he has to win Marge back? Um, if it is it something that you have a problem with, or you're just like that's The Simpsons?
I think it's bigger than that. I think it's not just Homer doing something that pisses off Marge. This is Homer doing something that wrecks his standing in the entire town and the family. Like, if you look at those episodes, like it is a standard Simpsons plot. Like, there's a bunch of episodes where Homer, just just uh messes something up with Marge, and they have a huge fight, and uh, you know, he has to win her back, or prove that he loves her or whatever. And I get that that can become old and everything, but it's a trope for a reason. But in those episodes, he always has some sort of support system. He always has, the guys down at Moe's. He always has his kids. In this episode, or not in this episode, in this movie, um, he doesn't have anything. He literally burns every bridge around him until he's just all alone, and he has to win. I mean, he says it, after his epiphany. He says, "I'm going to go back to Springfield, save my town, and win my family back." Like, it's a lot bigger than just Marge is mad at him. This is everyone is mad at him, and he has to prove, you know, he has to prove himself. and he does that, and he doesn't do that until the very, very end. Even when he gets back to, uh, Springfield, to save the town, he he ends up, people are there's a bomb hanging from a rope, and everyone's climbing the rope to escape the dome, and Homer comes in through that rope and through that hole, um, knocking everyone who's escaping down, and they're all even more pissed at him. And it's not until the very, 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 very end when he wins his family back.
Yeah,
And he
true,
wins like the town back.
true, true. Did you feel like that was a strong ending, or do you wish the ending had more?
Um, I wish there was more with the Bart part of the story. Because that sort of like I didn't really entirely like that ending. Like Bart, the whole thing is they're having a great time, hanging out, like Bart's helping them with the shingling on the roof, and they start like doing truth or dare and being dangerous, and eventually like Homer um dares him to skateboard naked uh to the Krusty Burger, which I want to get back real quick. I should have mentioned this when you were talking about like all the hype for this movie. Um, the only hype I really remember is that we get to see Bart's penis. And I remember like being like, "Oh man, that's cool" when I was a kid, and then like, and now as an adult, I'm like, "Why did they put a kid's dick in this? It's kind of weird." Um, but
Matt
you know,
said,
it,
"Don't forget to put the dick in there."
yeah, no, don't forget that. It's like, okay. I think it was just that like we get to do this now. It wasn't like like they weren't gonna put any other nudity in it. I guess I don't know. It was
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, I ain't gonna front. Like it's weird all the way around, but they put Marge titties in it. You just be like, all
Yeah,
right, we can't go back to regular TV.
yeah, no. Well, if they put Marge titties in there, like I'm never seeing her the same way again. That's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's weird. I don't like that. But Bart's stick, like I can survive that, I guess. It's like, oh, okay. It
I
was
agree.
funny. It was funny too, that whole segment. You know, uh he's skating around, he passes Ralph, and Ralph's just like, I like men now after seeing that. And
This was in 2007.
yeah. And then he face plants as Ned and Rod and Todd are praying, and he's like, "Let's not forget to thank the Lord for this bountiful penis." And the kids just say, "Bountiful penis, amen." It's just like it was a funny segment too,
Yeah,
but
it was good writing.
it was very good. But yeah, getting back to like the storyline though, like what I didn't like about Bart, like that whole Bart story was he uh gets left there, naked, humiliated in front of everybody, and his dad didn't bring him pants. Like that's like a big thing. Like if your dad doesn't bring you at least pants, that's ridiculous. And he starts to form a relationship with Flanders that's more fatherly and everything. Uh and I thought that was great and fun. But then in the end, when Homer's like, okay, I'm going to uh you know win my family back, he just shows up and is like, "Hey, son, do you want to come help me save the town?" And Bart has this whole speech where he's like, "Look, I need like a dad who's the same, in the morning as he is at night. I need consistency." And then Homer's just like, "I'll let you hold the bomb." And Bart's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're good." It's like, I don't know, like have Homer change a little bit, like in that moment, at least in that movie, like he needs to win Bart back more. Like that should be a bigger uh task than it was.
Yeah. The only reason why I thought it was believable is just because, like, if you got a dad that chokes his son, he's not gonna just
Yeah,
switch up and become a good dad.
yeah, but he is a good dad though. Like that's the thing. Like as much as like we can yeah, Homer like choking his son and everything. Like it's a I get it, but like you can sort of dissociate that from reality. You can be like, okay, yeah, that's just cartoony, because you can also see like all the moments where he fully cares about Bart like 100%, like in Bart the Daredevil and everything. Like he just loves his boy and everything, but uh yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And
is it
I can also see it being believable because Bart is like this 10-year-old, immature kid who is just like, yeah, I do want to just hold a bomb.
yeah. How many chances am I gonna get it to do
Yeah,
this? Yeah.
exactly. Like he does say to like, yeah, the man knows me.
Yeah. Yes. Uh Going back, you're a bigger fan than I am, but when it comes to this movie, how dedicated do you think they were to making sure it felt like The Simpsons, it looked like The Simpsons, and but not too much of being like not different?
Um, I think they were 100% dedicated to it. I mean, you had like, they just knew what they were doing. They uh like going back to the criticism about it being just Marge is mad at Homer, like that's and that's a plot in The Simpsons, in a bunch of Simpsons stories, and it's like, yeah, but that's the thing, like they did that because it is a relatable plot, but they upped the ante by making they made it a movie worthy story by upping the ante to where his actions um don't just affect his family or Marge, or his relationship with Marge and his family. They affect everybody, and everybody's mad at him.
Nice, nice, nice. 1 through 10, what would you give this movie?
See, that's hard. Like, as a movie itself, like devoid of any like Simpsons ness. I don't know. you know, it not being related to the Simpsons at all. Like if it was just a movie, I would give it like a 7. But as a Simpsons movie, I think it's like a 9 or 10. Like
Nice, nice.
like this is a Simpsons movie. As a movie itself, not a huge fan, but as a Simpsons movie, it's great. Like that's the thing, you have to like sort of differentiate it from that. Like it's weird because it just is a Simpsons movie. It's not just a movie, it's a Simpsons movie.
Yes, yes. Dumb question, but I have to ask: do you believe that this movie has become part of pop culture?
I mean it just was from conception because it's the Simpsons. That's the thing. Like I don't think like the movie itself, again, the movie itself is not, pop culture. No one there's not going to be like big Simpson movie watch parties or anything, but, uh, because it's The Simpsons, you know, that is a thing. People do have Simpson I mean, there's, in, at Universal theme park, there's a Simpsons theme park, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
which I really wanna go to. Um, but
I went on the ride a couple of years ago. It was funny on Universal Studios. It was first the Back to the Future ride. They made a
mhm,
few changes and they made it the Simpsons ride. And I forgot what it is now, but I think it's something totally different now.
yeah. I wouldn't even see, I don't even wanna go for the rides or anything. I just saw that they have like they have a Moe's bar and the Krusty Burger, and I'm like, oh man, that just looks like fun.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on to the movie review. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans? And please tell them where they can follow you.
uh, Again, don't know if I have fans, but if you know this is your first taste of me and you want more, follow me on my Instagram, Lennon Ratliff, LennonRatliff. Uh, Same for Facebook and YouTube. It's Lennon Ratliff for everything. So, you know, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a share. Let's do it.
Nice, nice. Thank you again for coming on. Thank you guys again for watching and listening, and have an amazing day.